Yes, happy 2022. We are back. It's I know 2022 was about 2 3 weeks ago. I think it started 2022. Yeah, but we had some time off for ourselves from doing the show. I know that the last show of the year it was Janka and Brandon. Isaac was doing his own thing, and I was stuck at home with COVID. So I was not on for that last show, but here we are. Janka is here with me. We're in the same place, and here we are. Isaac repping the NASCAR hat, the Gators hoodie.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro.
2022, we're back, man. It's great. It's great to be back and be back on the show with Mr. Isaac and one of our newest members
Well, I
here.
can barely see Jonka, but
I told him, bro.
I
I
don't know if
told
he's doing that on purpose. He's trying to.
he's focused on the Rams and Cardinals right now.
Really? Okay. I guess he's trying to move past, last week.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, talk to this guy.
Don't bring it up. All right, guys. Well, as we always do, plug and shameless plug of the week. I can already know, man. We'll start with shameless plug. Isaac, if you want to go first, what is the worst thing you saw last?
No, I'm doing the podcast.
That's the shameless plug of the week. Isaac lives with Aunt May. He's actually casting for the new version of Spider-Man, and he's going to be taking over Tom Holland's role. And that's the news that we have to start 2020 with is that Isaac's moving on from Plug Talk, and he's gonna be the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah. I wish that were true because that check must be nice.
Yeah, bro.
But
Stanley's coming to you through the check, bro.
But to start off, I guess with the shameless plug, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go on a little rant here with Manchester United.
Oh, thank God! I didn't think where you were going. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, Manchester United. Really, I mean, I remember on Saturday they were playing Aston Villa, and I had to go do something, so I leave with Manchester United winning 2-0. I'm like, all right, turn off the TV. I leave the house, come back full time. It's tied 2-2. Game over. Aston Villa pulls out a crazy comeback with Coutinho, who's now back. I think he's on loan from Barcelona right now. And the team just looks divided. Of course, Cavani, I mean, kind of hurt his ankle in the beginning of the game, was still able to play. I was going to say Ronaldo was out with a hip injury. Rashford was out with some kind of issue as well. But the interesting thing, too, was that Martial was also out. And when they asked Ralph, the head coach, why is he out, the coach, after the game in the press conference, he's like, Martial didn't want to come out. He just didn't want to play. And then Martial now says that that's not true, that he does want to play. Of course, he has no designation, no injury designation. So it's a weird situation. I also read a report about Fred. I know you guys love Fred and probably have him as one of the best midfielders in the world, but I don't. Fred was saying, there's a lot of fake news going on, and the team is together, and everybody's, everything's okay. And you could tell just by the body language during the games, like the team, especially when they're not doing well, and Maguire makes a mistake or somebody makes a dumb mistake, it just lingers throughout the game, and there's no spirit. And there's still like, exactly. And it's like game after game where, even when they win, they don't look comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it's a weird situation. So shameless plug of the week, Manchester United. And I have a feeling that it won't be the last time this year.
Pretty lengthy. It looks like you were in your feelings this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I know somebody else too, but, I'll be too passive aggressive.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Worst thing you saw this past week?
Worst thing I saw this past week was my Patriots losing 47-17 to the Bills. I did not expect the number one scoring defense to be scored on by 47 points. Bill Belichick, his ways are outdated. needs to leave, retire,
Wow, hot take.
and make Josh McDaniels the head coach and go in a new way because obviously it's not working anymore. So that's my hot take.
Yo, it's not working anymore after they won and done.
Hot take
with a rookie quarterback. Interesting.
Yeah. Spend all your money on defense and no offense, and how do you expect to make points? Hard.
So I'm gonna be the one to bring it up.
You should.
It's gonna be a lengthy one, Isaac. So I think I'd prepare yourself. Here I go. All year long, the Dallas Cowboys were looking great. Number one defense, I think, in the league, or top 5 for sure. Diggs, number one interceptions in the year. Even Isaac was like, yeah, I can see them getting to the NFC Championship game. Sorry if I put you out there on blast, Isaac, but you did tell me that, so I had to mention it.
He did allow them passing yards again.
Honestly, I thought the Niners had a better chance. The Cowboys had a better chance against the Niners. So that's why I had said that.
We all did, and we came into this game as the favorites for one time in our life. And I don't know if it's Mike McCarthy issue. And it's Christy Bayless tweeted last night. And I'm going to look up to the heavens and ask, why is it always me? My team always, in the moment where they need to have a fantastic season. Oh, Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb. Did CeeDee Lamb know there was a playoff game yesterday? Because that guy didn't even show up. Dak Prescott, Dakota winning Prescott, freaking shows up to the game and buddy, 3 quarters he didn't do jack crap, and then you get to the 4th quarter, bro, and then you just like, oh my God, I'm gonna come back here and I'll make a comeback like I'm Tom Brady, and freaking, who was the fantastic idiotic mind that said, 14 seconds left, let's run a quarterback draw right down the middle of the field and slide the ball. Who thinks of that? And then of course, the referee, that's another whole situation in itself. 25 yards away, just looking at the game, and there's, oh snap, I gotta go stop the football. 25 yards downfield. This guy's looking like a pro sprinter out there running, freaking Dak Prescott out of the way to try, and then he grabs the football from the center, right? And then he's trying to figure out where he's gonna spot the football. He's like, if you look at the replay, he's like, it's here. No, I don't think it's here. Let me move it a little bit back. It's just, yeah, the trench is a little bit back there. It's good there. Oh, wait, game's over. And then they just ran off the field because then everyone started throwing trash at them because, of course, what the hell was that? But you know what? The Cowboys didn't deserve to win. Porn star Jimmy goes into this football game at AT&T Stadium, the Mecca, Jerry's World, and it's a home game. You have home field advantage against a 49ers secondary who stunk it up all season long, and you can't. Don't get me started. Don't even get me started on Micah Parsons. Mr. Micah Parsons. This guy is Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. He comes back from COVID. I'll give him that. He came back from COVID. It was a little tough. I had COVID. I had shortness of breath. But then, this guy comes back and he's like, you forget how to tackle. He forget how to tackle. We're in a freaking playoff game here, guys. And it's just, I understood that lady crying her eyeballs out for 4 minutes. Not because we shouldn't have been in this situation. CeeDee Lamb, like I said, did you know there was a playoff game happening? What about Ezekiel Elliott? What happened with all this? Oh, feed me the ball. What the hell was that, bro? The guy came in for just 20 minutes trying to find a hole to run into. He can run into his own player and trip and fall. And then you got freaking Tony Pollard where I'm like, use him. Use him instead. Use him instead. No, sir. We got to go with Ezekiel Elliott because he won a national championship when he was actually good. Oh my God!
It's like 0-10 when you guys don't go for over 100 yards rushing.
I don't understand. The 49ers get the ball because we're not gonna get the ball first. You know why, Isaac? Because we got a big old bad defense. We're number 1 defense in the league, so let's not get the football back. let's have 49ers get the football. And freaking Jimmy Garoppolo freaking goes down the field in 2 seconds, looking like he was the second coming of Christ, and scores a touchdown.
First down, second down, first down.
That is Isaac. The moment I saw San Francisco in the first drive of the game, took it all the way down the field and scored a touchdown, that's why I was like, we're in trouble. I told my dad, we are in trouble. I said, this cannot be happening, Lord. This cannot be happening. Randy Gregory, don't even get me started. Bro, this team had 14 penalties in the game. They're the most penalized team in the NFL. Bro, like, there's plays where you don't need to commit those penalties. It has nothing to do with the play. This guy's just yanking this guy's face mask and throwing him to the floor. Like, dude, you don't need to do that. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Away from the ball, too.
Away from the ball. I'm like, what are you doing? I can't take it, man. My heart cannot take it anymore. You know, it's very wrong that these fans were throwing stuff at the referees. That's not correct, but I feel their pain.
Was the referees or the players?
No. It was the referees. But I feel their pain because you can't take it anymore. We got this billion-dollar stadium that's beautiful. You have talent on a team that's Super Bowl capable talent, and you can't even beat the 49ers at home. I don't know what else to do anymore.
I told you.
We're going to have to put Jesus Christ to be the coach of the football game because that coach of the game just can't do it, apparently. Why don't we get Jimmy Johnson back? Maybe he can do something. I don't understand what it's going to take for this team to finally get it together. And I don't know. I don't know. We need a new quarterback is Dak Prescott, which, mind you, he was wearing some nice Jordans on the field yesterday. Michael Jordan right now would be like, hey, I want my shoes back. I want the sponsorship back because he played like total ass. I don't know what to do with this team anymore. I still love them. I will still wear their gear and everything, and I love the Cowboys to death. But you know what? What the hell? What the actual hell, Isaac? I don't know how much more my heart can take from this freaking Cowboys. Every time I think I ate a tub of Ben & Jerry's yesterday after the game. I told my sister, I'm like, I come out of the room and my sister is like, the Cowboys? And I'm like, yes, the Cowboys. And this morning, it's just been relentless. People have been relentless, sending me all sorts of crap. I wake up this morning, my own sister. I don't get no slack from my own family. My own sister freaking sends me memes of Cowboys fans crying on Instagram. Like, it's unbelievable, and I don't know what else to do with this team anymore.
Oh, yeah, and supposedly they're keeping Mike McCarthy. And Kellen Moore might be leaving. Dan Quinn might be leaving.
If you know it's good with your health, you shut the hell up right now. We're in the same room, buddy.
You told me to come in.
It's unbelievable, Isaac. I don't know what else to do. I mean, you're a Dolphins fan, so I can, and that's the best part. That's the best part. At least you're a Patriots fan, bro. Dolphins fans, they haven't been relevant since like 72, 73, yet they're the ones talking crap about everybody.
Because they cling on to the undefeated season. What is this?
Hey!
You know what they're crying about? They're crying about that $2,000 per seat. That's what it is.
This guy is they're paying him $75 million for the year to be a quarterback. And he looked like last night more like $7.50 an hour.
The last 14 seconds, it was like almost 2.5 a second. 2.5 million a second.
So do you want Russell to cook in Dallas? Is that what you're saying?
I honestly would at this point, shit. I'd want a quarterback. Please give me a stable quarterback. I don't know how long if we bring Sierra to AT&T Stadium, I'm not complaining, but
she could perform at halftime at every game.
Exactly, I'd be fine with it. Dang, I'd make another trip to AT&T Stadium myself next season. But hey, dude, it's just at this point you need a quarterback that can throw the ball, make plays, especially under pressure. And Russell Wilson's the guy that's been to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, knows what it takes. So whatever it is, man, bring Johnny Manziel back from the Canadian Football League, for Christ's sake. I don't care. Something that gets it done, man.
You want Kirk Cousins?
I don't know.
He's a gunslinger.
I don't know, man. Like I told you, just something that works, please, because it is so frustrating every single year, man.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not even gonna get excited for any more Cowboy games during the season. I'm just gonna sit there with a bland face, Isaac. Just sit there and enjoy the games and just wow, it was a nice victory, nice W. Okay, cool. Because what's the point of getting excited? What's the point of getting excited when you get to the playoffs? There's a big goose egg is gonna fall on you, and you're gonna bring back to your reality, your sad reality. That you wake up on the Monday morning knowing you're a Cowboys fan, and you gotta live the rest of your life miserable. That's what I have in store for the Cowboys today. And I tagged them. I tagged them on Twitter too and in Instagram. And I said that when the good lamb decides to take me to heaven, that I will ask the heavenly Father above, Jesus Christ and God Almighty, I will ask him, why did you make me a Dallas Cowboys fan and make me suffer for 23 years of my life?
And then you realize there's something called free will.
Why do you make things worse? So that is my shameless plug.
Now that was a lengthy shameless.
I had to get it out of my system because in the last 24 hours, I haven't really been able to vent as much. I know I vented with you, Isaac, and you
I was waiting 48 hours, okay?
Whatever. You stopped replying to my messages after a certain while.
What was I gonna do? This guy's crying about Dallas. I'm like, what am I supposed to text back? Like,
a good friend would call me and say, "Hey,
call you? That's too much."
I texted him a week before the game that 49ers to watch out for them. He was like, "No, bro, we've been on fire, bro." And I'm like, "Watch out!"
Hey,
your defense hasn't been high.
Hey, you weren't saying much when I was commentating with Isaac on Saturday night, and your secondary, which you tell me, we don't have receivers, but our defense is really good. You were non-existent, buddy. They were being torched.
Hey, I already told you a minute. I'm tired of defense already. Why didn't Tom Brady left?
Well, anyways, let's get to plug of the week. Isaac, go ahead.
So my plug of the week is no mystery. It is the Bills offense that did not punt. If they did punt, it was like one time, and I didn't see it.
They didn't punt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't. Josh Allen, Jason Allen. I don't know who that is. Josh Allen had 5 total touchdowns. I mean, he completely dominated the game on his feet. Even in the pocket, he stood there, and took some hits and delivered great balls downfield. I mean, what else can you say from that game? And of course, I got to commentate with you, Danny, so that was a lot of fun. First time doing that for football. We've done it before already for basketball, and I'm not gonna lie, like in basketball, I felt lost at times because I'm like, how many times are you gonna say that was a great layup? But like,
it was high school basketball too.
Yeah. But this time around, I got some football, a chance to do football, and it was a lot of fun. So that was my play of the week.
The best thing from the past week?
Oh.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be sports related. So
it doesn't. Doesn't know.
I would have to say it's Shamar Stewart, 5-star recruit from high school. He was saying he visited Coral Gables this past weekend, and he was saying a lot of good things about UM. So hopefully he signs with the U over Alabama, LSU, Clemson, all the other schools.
This is where I bring in a plug and I say we still beat you on November 23rd, 2019. Yeah. 30-24 at Marlins Park.
With Manny Diaz.
Well, I guess I can say my plug of the week because there wasn't, to be honest with you, Isaac, there wasn't much good that happened in the past week. I guess I can say it's news that we just found out, I'd say like an hour ago. My boy here is graduating from Miami-Dade College.
Woo! That's awesome.
In order to celebrate, my man here, we're taking him in an all-inclusive to Las Vegas for 4 days. So he's gonna.
What do you mean by inclusive? What do you mean by
that? All paid expensive trip to Las Vegas. So, I mean, all.
Look at that.
So this man here is going to enjoy what it is to be in Las Vegas for his first time and hopefully we can bring him back to Plug Talk Sports all in one piece.
I'm gonna pop my biggest cherry.
That's awesome, dude. Have a lot of fun. Be safe.
I thank you for the be safe part because I'm sure I'm gonna be the babysitter trying to look out after him and not lose him in a mall or something.
Or something.
Yeah, or something.
Don't worry, I'm in an alley.
This is the type of guy that's gonna go to Caesar's palace and be like, "Did Caesar actually live here?"
No, sir.
So that's my plug of the week is that we're taking this guy to Las Vegas and we're gonna have a good time. Gonna go to a good, very famous burger shop. And Isaac, don't worry, I won't count you out, bro. I will
In
go.
and out.
I'm gonna go visit Papa Dana White for you and UFC headquarters, and I'll take some video. And I say Isaac's gonna be right here one day, looking like Herb Dean in the octagon, refereeing
Herb Dean.
some fight. Yeah. So don't worry, I won't forget you. We'll have some Vegas stuff for you as well, UFC involvement. We'll do the T-Mobile Arena and send you some videos. And like Isaac, this is what you watch on Saturday
the Apex Arena where they train apparently.
Yeah, Apex Arena. So we won't forget about you, Isaac. But let's get to the first topic of the night. And I'm happy to announce that the both of you were wrong.
About what?
I was right. The both of you were wrong. The national championship, both of you said Alabama was going to win, and your man here said Georgia was going to pull it off. And indeed, so it happened. Georgia, the national champions, the first time in 42 years, which
41.
41, whatever. It's
40, I don't care.
it's amazing.
Just messing with you.
It's amazing for Georgia to be able to get this. I understand why you guys went for Alabama.
I thought the starting quarterback was going to be starting with, and I saw it was a third string. Then I was like, I don't know.
I understand why you guys went for Alabama. They're a very dominant team, a dominant program in general. But I just felt like from watching Georgia this season, I just felt like there was something different, and I really love James Cook, who you guys didn't know is the brother of Dalvin Cook. And it's crazy now. Dalvin Cook had a national championship with Florida State, and now James Cook has a national championship with Georgia. So there's it's just some genes in that family that it has national championship and NFL material. But it's credit to Georgia and Kirby Smart. It prepared those guys. And you guys remember in the SEC championship game, you're rolling your eyes over there, but it's true. SEC championship game, Alabama defeats Georgia, and Alabama conference champions. And I think Kirby Smart did a good job, and his staff did a good job of preparing the guys for a second meeting with Alabama and learning their mistakes from the first game and making sure that they didn't do that in this game, which was obviously higher stakes, higher implications. And they got the job done, and they brought the national championship back to campus at Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, when you looked at the other three teams besides Bama, it wasn't going to be Cincinnati. It wasn't going to be Michigan. If they lose, it has to be Georgia. And, like you said, Danny, at least I didn't expect Georgia to come out as the victors. Kirby Smart has been beaten by Nick Saban many, many times before. We've seen the same song where they have a great running back or great quarterback or great receiver, great offense, and they're able to beat Florida, able to beat some of the teams, run the table in their division, and then go to the conference and then lose to Bama. And they did that this year. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this trend going, and I chose to support Bama, of course. I'd rather see Nick Saban win than Kirby Smart. That's just the Florida fan in me. But yeah, I have to give them their credit. Their defense played very well. It stopped. Of course, Alabama didn't have the same quarterback, but Georgia played very well defensively and caused a lot of turnovers. It was 33-19. This was not a competitive game at all. So, congrats to them, and shout out to those Georgia fans that may be watching. And that's probably the best thing I'll have to say for Georgia for the rest of this year.
Janka, your thoughts on Georgia winning the national championship and just that game against Alabama?
I thought the quarterback for Alabama, I don't remember his name.
Bryce Young?
Yeah, insignificant. He didn't. Yeah, I don't think he threw the ball well. He was missing a lot of the targets. Especially on the option when he had it, he wasn't. He didn't choose to run it. He's like kind of like tucked in. He didn't really decide to do anything well. And then he put the ball in harm's way, but luckily nothing really happened that bad. But I mean, the game was pretty close at the end, anyways. I mean, both defenses played pretty well, but at the end, Georgia played better offense. And they scored more points. That's basically how it came down to.
Jordan, who's been on this show plenty of times, was trying to convince me that the only reason why Alabama lost was not because of Bryce Young, is because the receivers got hurt. And Bryce Young had nobody to throw to. But I'm like,
one receiver doesn't make up the entire team.
And then, okay, yeah, let's say your receivers go out or whatever, but like your team's in the national championship. This is a team effort. It's not a one guy, one receiver, two receivers effort. I mean, yeah, it makes an impact. But let's say that interception at the end, that wasn't receiver's fault. He threw that ball badly and it got picked off. So, and they were getting to him. Georgia's defense was getting to Bryce Young all night. They were getting back there to Bryce Young all night. So just for, the Jordan and Bama fans in general who said that, we didn't have our receivers or whatever. Yes, I agree. It does make an impact. But you know what? When you're in a national championship, your whole squad's going to ball out. Your whole squad's going to be, it's the next man up mentality. You got to be ready to go if something happens. I don't know what you guys. First of all, that game against Cincinnati for Bama was ridiculous. Like, we all knew Cincinnati had no chance.
I'm glad that they were in it, though. And I think they should actually expand the playoff to like 6 teams instead of 4.
I agree. They should expand. The problem is that what sucks about it is that, like, let's say SEC is so powerful that, like, you get a team like Cincinnati from the AAC, like, they have no chance already. Like, they get in there and they have no chance. So it's not really competitive because just the difference in levels of, recruiting and the different conferences and stuff like that. So I do agree that I think expanding the playoff would probably make it a lot more interesting, a lot more competitive.
Yeah, you win one game and you're in the championship.
Pretty much, yeah. You win one game and you're in the championship.
How does that make you a champion? I don't really respect the way it is now, but whatever.
You know what I really liked though? Like, yeah, the college football playoff is cool, but I really did like the BCS era. How it's whoever ended up in the rankings 1 and 2 at the end of the season, those are the people who were playing in the national championship. And I thought that was pretty cool back in the day, how that worked. But too early to predict here. Who do you think for next year?
That is too big. Anything can happen.
Like just the 4 teams or just the winner?
Just the winner. I know it's too early, but this is why it's called too early.
FAU.
Anybody can show up.
FAU.
The who's?
Oh yeah, the Owls. The Owls.
I don't know, man. That's tough. Because anybody can just have a really good year.
You know what I expect, or at least it should happen. USC should have a bigger year because they got Lincoln Riley.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say dark horse USC just to be that guy.
For me, like I was just thinking through the rankings right now.
Chip Kelly too, because he's back, I think, right? With LSU, he's the LSU coach.
I believe so. But you know what? I'm gonna go with a dark horse too.
Don't say Michigan.
I was not gonna say Michigan.
I'm sorry, not Chip. Brian Kelly.
I was gonna say a Michigan team, but not Michigan.
State?
Michigan State.
East Michigan.
Michigan State. No, Michigan is. And sorry, Josh. I know you played for Michigan, but they're a fluke for me, just like Notre Dame. You know how many times me and Jonka have been like, yo, Notre Dame is not for real, bro. And they're always in the top 10.
They always choke.
Always. But
same as Oregon.
You know what? I'm going to change my pick, not Michigan State. You know who's looking real nice?
Penn State.
Utah. The Utes are looking real nice. Went to the Rose Bowl. I mean, unfortunately, they lost in a hell of a game against Ohio State.
Not Oklahoma?
Nah. I'm not rocking with Oklahoma. But I think I'm going to rock with Utah. So you said...
To win it all or just to make the playoffs?
To win it all.
Hey, when in doubt, just go the regular route. Alabama. I'm not just say it.
You said Bama. I said Utah. You said USC.
Usually when Alabama loses, they come back the next year and they win it.
That is true. But interesting picks nonetheless.
But the best thing is that the moment Nick Saban retires, Alabama goes from 100 to 0.
I'm going to have to bring up this topic, and this is going to be a good topic as I get a Twizzler here.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, it's not sponsored. Unless Voice Business Productions wants to reach out or something, and then just let me know. But Antonio Brown, the ending to his season. Obviously, the Bucks are in the playoffs, but he's not there. He had an injury that he says a supposed injury that ended his season for him. He was cleared to play.
We get an injection on his ankle.
They injected him, which he said was an injection that's not really approved by the NFL. And Bruce Arians...
You took it, guy.
Yeah. You still took it. Bruce Arians told him to get in the game, and he said, "No, I'm not going in because I don't feel, healed enough."
Yeah, already. You don't want to hurt him anymore.
So they kept going back and forth on this until Bruce Arians said, "Hey, man, just get out of here." So then, Antonio Brown fashion, he starts stripping all of his uniform in the middle of the field and starts jumping up and down, which he talks about this injury, and I'm like, "Hey, you look pretty good to me getting off of that field." And then he comes out with the statement, just blaming the Buccaneers and then blaming his relationship with Tom Brady. And then it kind of fires back on him.
And then his attorney showing pictures of him getting rehab on his ankle and all that stuff.
And it fires back on him. You know why? I saw the article and the pictures. There was a girl who spent the night with him at his hotel the night before the game, and he wanted her to sleep over, but she said he wanted her to sleep over, but she said no. After she was already there, and actually they did their things, their physical things, they rolled the do-si-do.
Cover the ears.
Yeah.
You want to go and buy a Krispy Kreme?
She wasn't talking about plug talk to him. I can tell you about that. But he offered her if you wanted to stay the night, and he was like, the only thing though is that I gotta wake up early, like 6 a.m. early, because I have a meeting with Tom Brady. And she was like, nah, I'm not gonna wake up early because you have a meeting with Brady or whatever, so I'm just gonna go now. But he broke team protocol, team COVID-19 protocol, because they're supposed to be kind of in a bubble, and brought this girl over. And mind you, she was sneaked, or snuck, however you say it, into the hotel, because obviously security and stuff like that will see the girl going to Antonio Brown's room and will say something. So he was able to get this girl to his hotel room. And the question is, look, Antonio Brown, he's alongside the T.O.s of the world and the Odell Beckhams of the world, and not in terms of football, because look, we know they're great, but they're very divisive to locker rooms. And Antonio Brown, really, every place that he's been, he's had a problem with everybody. He's had a problem, and not only in the football field, but in his personal life as well. And he goes all the way back to college. He was at FIU for a semester and on the football team and got kicked out of there too. So, you look at the track record, and obviously I'm a big advocate for mental health, and I want him to get help. But obviously, if you look at the track record, like, it keeps happening. So at some point, you're kind of like, all right, are you the problem?
But I think Bruce Arians had some kind of like low key prejudice on him because like you saw what he did the first year with the Bucks. He didn't play the first 8 games. He came back and he got you to a Super Bowl and you guys won. At that point, there was no problem. He comes back this season. He plays. He gets injured, and then the thing with the vaccination card, whatever happened. 3 extra games doesn't matter. He was still injured anyways. He comes back, and then he has the incentives, and then all of a sudden, it's the thing with the foot that it hurts, coach. I can't go in. I can't go in. Oh, then you can't. Then you're cut. It kind of low key seems like every time there's a problem with AB, Bruce Arians has to be the center of it. Like if he's looking for something wrong with AB. To be honest.
Well, I think my answer to that, before Isaac responds, I think my answer to that would be like, maybe he already has a, opinion about AD before he even got to Tampa, because of previous issues. So he already has a problem or just an opinion on him before he even got there. So I don't know, Isaac, what are your thoughts on AB?
Whether it's the vaccination, the fake vaccination card, and then he did get vaccinated, but he still had the card, or his ankle, or his foot getting fried. I guess not injured, but getting fried in some kind of cryogenic chamber. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, cryotherapy, some weird thing. The whole deal with the helmet, his beef with Ben Roethlisberger. I think it's just like, bro, it's an attitude thing. It's a you thing. Like this guy, he talks about mental health. He's aware of certain things, and it's like you would think if somebody's already aware, like that's it. They make progress, and it's like this guy is just always something going on, and I feel like maybe it's not a mental illness thing, but it's more an ego thing where it's like, oh, the world around me has to change. Because I feel this way or I feel that way, or, I don't know, bro. It's just, it's about time that he got cut, and he did it on his own. He left on his own accord. Nobody was forcing him out. He said goodbye. And that's kind of like the message that he sent to the rest of the team. Like, and it's a team game, how are you just going to walk away from your team in the middle of the game? So I think it was a disrespect to the team and the fans, and now he's doing music. I hope he's very successful there. And I've seen him in videos with Kanye and a bunch of people, trying to make music. So I really hope that takes off for him, because if he's blowing his NFL money, we all know where that leads. Yeah. But I hope that he gets the help that he needs.
Now, a good question is, I mean, yeah, he's in music now, but do you think his NFL career is over, or he will get picked by another team?
Yeah, I think it's done. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, because obviously when he got, after the Steelers and then he was in the Raiders, it took a good time for him to get picked up after the Raiders issue to get picked up by the Patriots. It took him a good time to get picked up by the Patriots. And then when he was in the Patriots for 1-2 games?
It was 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, and then
he happened with a fight with Kraft. He said Kraft was a cracker or something. I don't know. I don't know how it went down like that, but.
And then he but I agree with you. I think even if he wanted to try football again, I don't think any team is gonna pick him up. I don't think any team, he puts his name out there. They think about, he's a great receiver. He's got great talent, great skill, but he's a liability. We're not going to waste money on that, and we can look up for other talent or draft talent. So I certainly don't think that any team is really going to take a chance on him. I mean, it has to be a team that's like really, really, really
like dire. The Lions.
Yeah, a team that's really, really in dire need of somebody. That's the only situation I can think of. But other than that, no team is going to take a chance on him.
Would you say the Steelers, do you think they were wrong about letting him go? Because we've seen after they got rid of him, they have not been the same. Juju has been non-existent. Chase Claypool has been alright, but they haven't been back to what they once were when he was the star. And then he obviously started complaining when he wasn't getting the targets and the touches that the performance was going down. He's like, "Hey, yo, pass it to me. I'm the guy that works my butt off for you." None that is all these people doing TikToks and wasting time on the field, just with dangling the football. You know, and it kind of shows like what he can do for a team when he actually wants to work for it.
I think that we don't know a lot of what goes on behind closed doors, and I mean, me and Isaac know from working, one on one with teams and being around locker rooms and athletes, we definitely know there's a lot of stuff that happens, and just a lot of stuff that gets kept quiet, brushed under the rug, and never gets out to the media or to the general public. So I really don't know with AB. I mean, yeah, we have a lot of information that's come out from credible sources that's come out to the media and been available to us, but we really don't know in certain situations throughout his career in all these organizations he's been with, what really has transpired, behind closed doors in the training facility, throughout practice and with teammates and stuff like that. So um, there's probably stuff that could have gone down, and that's why these organizations reach a boiling point and they're like, we can't take this guy anymore. It's not going to work. We got to get rid of him. So, and Jonka's watching the Rams and the Cardinals.
Yeah, update. Rams.
It's a blowout, right?
Cardinals 0.
That's actually not surprising, to be honest. Cardinals been kind of.
Is this stinky?
No. Been kind of off the last couple of weeks. But we're gonna move to a man whose 40th birthday is today.
Yep.
And we're talking about Miami's prodigal son, adopted son, Dwayne Wade turns 40 today. And we're going to talk about something that's been controversial I think for us it's very clear, but it's been controversial for a couple of years since it's happened. And the question is, was Dwayne Wade robbed of the MVP in 2009? Whoever wants to answer it, take the floor.
I mean, if you're just measuring MVP, right, by most valuable to their franchise, the player that's the most valuable on the court for their franchise at all times, I think yes, definitely, Dwayne Wade was robbed, and I saw the rundown before the show started, so I got a little chance to cheat and do some research offhand. I was like, no way, LeBron won that year. They had a higher seed, whatever. But then I started looking at the stats, and I'm not going to go on a big rant here, each stat, but Dwayne Wade, 30 points per game. The only thing that he did, I think, that kind of didn't help him, two things, free throw percentage and 3-point field goal percentage, which at least with 3-point field goal percentage, we know Dwayne Wade, as Heat fans watching him over the years, he's not a big shooter from the three.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing that I think LeBron had on him. And, of course, his team had a higher seed. When you look at the previous year, the Heat only had that was that year where they had 15 wins. And then the next year, just because they have Dwayne Wade on their squad and he's averaging those 30 points a game, they make it to a 5th or 6th seed. So, yes, I think by definition, MVP, he was robbed, because when you look at the statistics, Miami would have been nowhere near the playoffs to begin with if they didn't have a 30-point per game scorer, blocks per game, player like D Wade, or he also got more steals per game than LeBron that year as well. So I think he was robbed.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong, but I think LeBron didn't make the conference finals. Yes, I believe he did in 2009 against the Orlando Magic, in which the Magic defeated the Cavaliers, and Magic go on to face Kobe Bryant and the Lakers in the finals, and Kobe swept Orlando. Yeah, I mean, I think people just really start looking at LeBron got the MVP that year because LeBron had good stats obviously, but they start looking at, oh well, LeBron had really no teammates on the Cleveland team, and he really put
Like who's more valuable
and took them all the way that far. But I mean, I get that, but that's really not what the MVP should be about. It's pretty much of what you've done throughout the year and then your numbers. And obviously, we look at Dwayne Wade. It was pretty clear and obvious that Dwayne Wade had the best year statistically than anybody in the league that year. So my answer would be, I think Dwayne Wade should really have one MVP in his cabinet. He should have the Finals MVP and an MVP sitting right next to it in his cabinet. I mean, I think LeBron James, obviously a heck of a player, had a heck of a year that year, and it's remarkable to see a player like that be able to put a team on his back and take it all the way to the conference finals. But look, he ran into an Orlando team that year that had players on their team. They played as a team. It wasn't just one individual. And that's why the Cavs got beat. That's why they got beat against the Celtics the year before he came to Miami, is because Cleveland is LeBron and he had no teammates to help him. Who did he have? Like Mo Gibson with him and Zydrunas Ilgauskas? Like, come on, man. That's really all LeBron had in those first early days in Cleveland. So it's unfortunate that D Wade got robbed because he really is a generational talent, one of the best guards in all of NBA history. And he, at least in my opinion, he at least deserved to win MVP, man. I mean, look at all those years after the 06 championship for Miami where the Heat had a bad team. I remember you freaking had Jermaine O'Neal and Quentin Richardson and Dwayne Wade, and they had Mario Chalmers in his rookie year. Like, those were bad years for the Heat. And they had Joel Anthony as the center. And with all that, Wade was able to still be able to take the Heat to the playoffs. And I still remember perfectly, it was round one. I don't know the year. I believe 2010, right before LeBron came. They were playing the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. And I remember the Heat were on the verge of being eliminated. And I was driving to church and we were listening, or we were getting out of church, and it was a Sunday. That's why it was afternoon game. And I was listening to the game on the radio, and I can clearly remember Dwayne Wade saved the Miami Heat from being swept. I mean, they ended up getting a gentleman's sweep, and it was 4-1, but they ended up being saved and getting one game because Dwayne Wade just went off here at home and saved the Heat. And that's just the type of player he was. And especially in 2009. I mean, even towards the end of his career, he was, I think in his last year, he was in field goal percentage was near Steph Curry, which is insane. So he definitely deserved the MVP trophy at least one time. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I just got stats here.
We're going to get into Isaac's favorite topic here, and then we have, to finish off the show, we have a very fun topic. But before that, Colby Covington will be taking on Jorge Masvidal on March 5th. I believe it's UFC 272, correct?
Yep.
Yes, in Las Vegas. This is a matchup that, I mean, I wouldn't say is the number one matchup that people wanted, because I think Masvidal and both Covington have been thrown into different matchups that people have wanted. It's been mixed. But this definitely was one matchup that the people wanted, and it's because the beef is personal. Covington here in Miami used to live with Masvidal. Masvidal was letting Covington sleep on his couch. Masvidal, and I'm telling you Masvidal's side of the story. Masvidal says that he introduced Covington to all these coaches and trainers, in which when Covington made it big, Masvidal says that Covington never paid any of these coaches and trainers, and started pretty much talking crap about Masvidal once he made it big and became a big shot and stuff like that. Masvidal says here in Miami he goes to the restaurants that Colby eats at, and Kobe's nowhere to be found, and he just wants to talk to the guy, face to face, and Kobe's nowhere to be found. And it's gotten personal. Kobe's brought up Masvidal's wife and Masvidal's kid, saying that all he does is give the kid and the wife money, and that he's not truly a good father. So it's really gotten that personal, and that Masvidal's wife has went out with him one time. So the beef has really gotten personal, and Masvidal in a press conference has said that he was going to break Colby's face on March 5th. So I think you are the combat sports guy for Plug Talk Sports. So what do you make of this heated, debate and heated arguments that we have going on between Masvidal and Covington?
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for both guys to have a mic in their hands and they get to say whatever they want to each other for 3 hours, and then of course they always bring on the one thing I love that the UFC does is they bring on the fans, and the fans themselves can ask questions. And that's when things get really crazy. So it's going to be entertaining to watch. As far as the fight itself, I think Colby is trending upwards, and we'll see if Masvidal has a full training camp and can out wrestle Colby Covington. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I still want to give Colby just a little bit of an edge because he's been trending, on the upwards last couple wins and stuff. And last time we've seen Masvidal, he was, getting scraped off the canvas against Usman. So, but like you said, Danny, this is one of those fights that you really you love to expect to see this year. But I would say more specifically, not do UFC fans just want to watch this fight. The fans of that weight division too, because that weight division is super crowded. I mean, you have guys like Shimafev. I'm probably screwing his name up. Hamzat Shimafev.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. That guy's an animal. And just because of the way that he's been winning, he's going to get a title shot very soon. You have Leon Edwards fighting Usman, which that's an interesting thing. But I'm excited to get those guys going. Huh?
We talked about that on our run.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We did. And that's going to be an exciting one. But I'm going to be pulling for the Miami guy in this one, Masvidal, but I think Colby wins it. I would say after 3 rounds, the judges decide by decision that, Colby wins.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Isaac, because, I don't know. To me, it looks like Covington is in his physical prime right now. He's able to take the hits. He's a scrappy guy. He won't go down easily. And I feel like Masvidal right now is kind of in a Conor state of mind where he's just all talk, and when it comes to the fight, he just absolutely gets obliterated. So that's where I think he's at, and I honestly think, I'll be honest with the both of you, I think Colby can put him to sleep if he gets the right shot.
Yeah, we've seen Masvidal get cocky, very cocky, expecting Usman in the last fight to go for one punch, but the other punch was actually coming, and he guessed wrong, and we all seen the picture, where there's a bunch of sweat and whatever else just flying in the air because he just got punched across the face. So it seems that Colby has a better chin right now than Masvidal and can probably out wrestle Masvidal. So I think that's where he has the advantage. But you never know.
So prediction: how does, I know you're going for Masvidal, but you think Covington's going to win? How does Covington win, and which round?
No, I say they go the three rounds.
Not 5. It's going to be a 5-round fight.
Oh well, yeah, it would be a 5. That's right. It will be a 5-round. See now that changes things. So if it's definitely a 5-round main card, Colby by the 3rd round. I think it'll be pretty even on the feet, but once the wrestling, like I said before, starts to kind of, go into the game plan, into Colby's game plan, where he takes Masvidal down and he kind of starts wearing him out and, just laying on top of him, showing him, giving him elbows and kind of dominating on top, I think we'll see it in the third round, by TKO.
You read my mind. I think Colby's gonna put him to sleep, knock him out third round. Bianca, what do you think? Which round does obviously you say Masvidal is gonna win?
Yeah, I go with Miami guy.
So you're saying Masvidal is gonna win, and which round does he win and how? Is it knockout? Is it submission? Is it decision?
I would say either third round submission or decision at the end.
Okay. Interesting. Now we're gonna get into a very fun topic that I created here. I want you guys to name me, and it can be from any team or it can be the same team. Top 5 worst Miami athletes of all time, and they don't have to be from Miami. Just any athlete that played in a Miami sports professional team. And I don't know who wants to go first. Isaac, you want to go first? Jonathan, you want to go
Sure,
first?
I can go first.
Isaac will go first.
Have them all written down.
5 will be your worst, and then wait, actually 5. Yeah, it's 5. 1 will be like the worst that you've ever seen.
All right. Well, just an honorable mention. I put Charles Harris here.
Okay.
Dolphins 3rd overall pick, huge bust. He's with the Lions now. But anyway, so 5th, I'd say Josh Beck, number 9 for the quarterback for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's famous. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks, including Prescott, have done this where they go like this and the ball goes that way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, as embarrassing. Dak Prescott's version wasn't as embarrassing as Josh Beck's debut where he did that. Of course, the Dolphins went on to, I think, go 1-15 that year. So that was that. And then I would say after that, Ja'Cory Harris, who you got to give him a little bit of credit because Ja'Cory Harris for the Canes, he did get some yards. He showed flashes, right? But over the course of his career at the U, he wasn't the guy. He wasn't the answer. And just overrated, mediocre. You can throw all those names out there. Then number 3, I have Chad Johnson. Okay, maybe for the Bengals fans out there, they love him. But I remember that season where Chad Johnson came on with the Dolphins in the offseason. It was the Dolphins' Hard Knocks. And this guy embarrasses himself all over everything, social media, the news, and Hard Knocks, where, they had to show Joe Philbin cutting Chad Johnson because he was beating on his wife or his girlfriend or something like that. I forgot now. Something domestic. So then after that, I have Hassan Whiteside for the Miami Heat. Had a decent,
Janka's gonna agree with that.
Yeah, like he had a decent, first nice little year, where he showed like he could block anybody. He was going on a block party. But then after that, his attitude, his tweets were more notable than his stats on the actual court, and he was just annoying. By the time he was out of here, like the city of Miami just wanted nothing to do with him. And then lastly, Pat White. I don't know if you guys remember who he is.
Yeah.
But this guy is known for being blown up, okay, and carted off the field as a Dolphins quarterback. And when he came to the Dolphins, Dolphin fans, we really thought that Pat White was going to be the next Michael Vick, a little shorter Michael Vick. But, we just forgot, I guess, his body was built like a toddler. So he got blown up in that Steelers game, never came back, and I never saw him throw a pass in the NFL. So there you go.
All right. Janka, do you want me to go first, or do you have your top 5?
You go. I'm
okay. So 5, I have to agree with you, Isaac. Josh Beck. Oh my! And it's funny. Is right before the show started, I was looking through my deck of football cards, and I came across Josh Beck. I was like, I remember this guy was awful, man, and I had to put him in the top 5. This is where it gets really hard because it's like I don't know. I don't know.
You're not a Miami guy?
Four. You know what? I'm gonna say it. It's recent, but I'm gonna say it. 4 is gonna be Rodolfo Pizarro. This guy came here
Okay.
to Miami from Monterrey, from Liga MX, and was supposed to be the shining savior of Inter Miami. They're going to be Inter Miami's star player. His first year, he scored the first goal in Inter Miami history, which, okay, yeah, that will always be remembered in history, and was supposed to be the savior of this team, the superstar. And that's what history wrote. I mean, this guy was non-existent for the later half of the first year, and this last year, his second year, non-existent. Didn't do anything. There was a point in time where he was benched and he didn't play for a couple games, which they called an injury, which we all know it wasn't.
He has the Pogba syndrome.
Exactly. And we all know it's bad, and he was getting a big time money behind Gonzalo Higuain, second highest paid player in the team, and just didn't work out. And now he's back at Monterrey, back where he came from. And he said when he came to Miami that he was going to use MLS as his launching pad to go to Europe. Well, buddy, you went backwards and you went back to Mexico, so it didn't really work out for you. 3, it's going to be another Inter Miami player, and it's the Frenchman World Cup winner Blaise Matuidi. This guy, I was never even convinced in the first place when they signed him. He's slow, he's old, he just wasn't good, didn't really do anything for Miami. The guy gets benched or suspended or fined or whatever for one game because he gets subbed out at halftime and decides that he wants to go sit with his friends. Like, you don't do that, especially when your team's getting killed. I believe it was the New England Revolution game where they came down here to Miami and they put 5 goals past, the keeper. And you just can't do that. You got to sit with your team, man. This is not some sort of, we're at the Fountain Blue under some sort of fancy little tent where you're ordering margaritas all day long. You got to sit with your team. You didn't come here for retirement. I mean, in his head, he probably came here for retirement, but he just didn't do anything. Another waste of money for Inter Miami, and really another player that didn't work out. So I'm going to go to number 2, and this is going to be a Marlins player named Kevin Gregg. Now, Kevin Gregg was a closing pitcher. One of the worst guys I've ever seen in my life, Isaac.
He has 2 first names, so that's not a good sign.
Yeah, he had glasses on too. Every time that this guy was inserted into the ball game, bro, they had a lead.
He opened the game. He didn't close it.
Exactly. He always ruined the game. Always ruined the game. And could not get a save for his life. So that's going to be number 2 for me. And for number 1, I'm going to have a Heat player, and his name is Luke Babbitt. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Yes.
But it was the year after Wade left.
Yeah.
And
we signed Luke Babbitt. Exactly.
Yeah, our roster was legit Hassan Whiteside, Goran Dragic, Luol Deng, Luke Babbitt, and then I forgot who else was on the.
Do we have Wayne Ellington and Tyler Johnson?
You're right, and Wayne Ellington.
Wayne Ellington was nice.
James Johnson
was nice.
Luke Babbitt did absolutely nothing for this team. Absolutely nothing. They try to be, yes, I believe in Heat culture. I really do. And I believe it really works. I really believe in that. But there's every now and so often, there comes this one dude where you're like, where the hell did they get him from? And they try to experiment with him and try to put the culture into him, but it never really works. And then they end up shipping him off. So, yeah, Luke Babbitt, a number 1 for me. Your turn, buddy.
Oh, boy.
I want to hear what you have.
All right. I'm going to say honorable mention. My buddy Giancarlo Stanton, he's with the Yankees now.
You have him?
As a bust? As a damn, that's crazy.
Hey, bro.
One of my greatest, just sidebar, one of my greatest experiences at the ballpark, at the new ballpark, was Giancarlo Stanton hitting a homer in overtime, and the Marlins winning over the Rangers.
Was it the Grand Slam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
Okay.
This might be a hot take.
Okay.
Don't run me over. Alex Rodriguez.
What?
Wow.
Listen. Him being from my Hurricanes, having to deal with people already scrutinized us for being bad, and then taking PEDs makes us look even worse. When you make the city of Miami look bad, I don't like that. I don't like that.
The city of Miami always looks bad just because of the city of Miami. like all the crime and cocaine and all weird stuff, and you're like, oh, PEDs is worse. So like, what is this? I love you, bro.
Remember the lead force. Okay.
Wow. I was not expecting that.
Okay, number 3.
4.
Dan Marino.
What?
Dan Marino. You set all these records, and yet you have no title to show for it. That's number 4, just for that reason. Period.
I got no words right now.
Okay. Number 3. You'll probably agree with this. Jay Cutler.
Okay, yeah.
For the Dolphins.
I can agree with that.
That was the most pathetic quarterback I've ever seen for the Dolphins. That's why I put him ahead of Dan Marino. Number 2, he already said it. Hassan Whiteside, piece of shit. He should have never been on the team. You look like cornrows look like Patrick's butt, whatever. And then what are you guys thinking for number 1? It is a Heat player.
Like
LeBron.
Gonna say Lamar Odom or something.
LeBron era. Ooh.
Mario Chalmers.
He is probably the most insignificant, most athletic.
Mario Chalmers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Greg Oden.
Oh, poor guy. Oh my god.
2007 first round pick.
He never even played.
Bro, he got picked ahead of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, exactly. The most pathetic excuse for an NBA career I've ever seen. Sorry
That's
if
some
you've
bad
ever
news.
seen
Come
it.
on. That's messed up.
He's my number 1.
Do you remember
athlete ever for Miami?
Do you remember this big white boy in the 06 season, the championship? His name was Michael Doliak.
No.
Dude, that guy, I was like, what is this guy? Like, it was bad. But no, dude, Greg Oden, that was a good number 1. I think he had the best number 1, to be honest. Like, I think he had the best number 1, then you had the second best, and I had the third. Like, Pat White was pretty bad. But Greg Oden, bro, like, I didn't think of that. Greg Oden, dude, oh my God. I didn't think of that.
I saw on YouTube, somebody interviewed him at a university. He's like, oh, what did you do? I was like, oh, I was an NBA player. Oh, really? That's cool. What was your name? Oh, Greg Oden. Never heard of you in my life.
He was like, oh, it was the guy. Like, literally, the only thing he can say is like, oh, it was the guy who got picked before Kevin Durant in the draft.
I'm pretty sure he got a championship before LeBron did.
Unbelievable. Well, those were our top 5 worst Miami athletes of all time. And before we end it, trivia question. How many times has Miami hosted the Super Bowl? We'll give you guys some time to think.
6?
No, more than 6. No, I know it's between Miami.
Well, yeah, there's like 40. Never mind. That was a bad guess. That was a pretty bad guess. No,
I'm gonna say 22.
22 Super Bowls?
No, wait. I'm doing wrong.
All right. I'm gonna say 12.
I'm gonna say 16.
Isaac was the closest. Miami has hosted 11 Super Bowls.
11, huh?
And I think that, hey, don't get all happy. You said 6 at first.
Wait, who knows? It might be 12.
New Orleans. I think Miami is tied with New Orleans for hosting the most Super Bowls. Obviously,
is Miami number one?
No, I think they're tied with New Orleans, and I think yeah, this year it's in Los Angeles, and then next year it'll be in Las Vegas.
But didn't Miami take the lead?
No, I think it's tied with New Orleans. I think so. But anyways, this concludes today's show. It was great to be back on Plug Talk Sports. I do have one announcement. I won't say which day. You'll just have to tune into our social media to find out. But this week, we are unveiling the Plug Talk Sports website. So I'm very excited to unveil that, something that me and Isaac talked about honestly a while ago, and we finally put it into production. We've expanded our team. We have a team of writers now, and this week I wanted to unveil it over the weekend, but I just felt like there were still some minor things that we had to fix, and it wasn't the right time. And I really don't want to put something out there that's not at its best yet. So for sure, this week, stay tuned to our social media, and it's going to be unveiled. And it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to share this source with you guys, this platform with you guys, and you guys can really just keep up with all of our work, and us continue doing what we do. So let's have a great 2022, guys, and we'll see you guys next week for another episode of Plug Talk Sports.